fellow union members, we are here at Mediation. We've been for 8 hours. In that time, management has not passed us any proposals and has not responded to the several proposals that we passed today. It's become a bit of a pattern. So as usual, not much has happened in the last 8 hours, except we did get an email from Dr. Bennings, which we would really like to talk to you about now.
Steps are not COLA. When I was hired at PCC, I took a $5,000 pay cut because I knew that in a few years I was going to be making more money than had I stayed at my original job. We negotiate a COLA so that the steps increase in value. So if you are a full-time faculty at step 10, in 2016, step 10 was making $69,690 a year. Because we negotiate a COLA every 2 years, a step 10 faculty member now makes $93,608. So if we were not bargaining over COLA, step 10 full-time faculty would be making $69,690 a year. An AP step 10 at level 3 would be making $56,968 versus what they make today, which is over $85,000. A part-time faculty who is roughly half-time in 2016 at step 10 would be making $26,581. Because we negotiate for COLAs every 2 years, that part-time faculty now makes $36,150 a year. Steps are not COLA.
What's up, everyone? Dr. Bennings talked about layoffs at Portland Public Schools and related those to the COLA increase that they won in their contract. PPS problems are not PCC problems. I think we've all seen that PPS has some serious challenges that they're going through right now. Not necessarily the case here at PCC. Additionally, the superintendent of Portland Public Schools has gone on the record to say they're hoping to avoid cutting positions due to just the natural process of attrition and retirement, which is also a way that PCC can save money.
Southern Oregon University, you've heard them in the news, you heard them in President Benning's email. What's the difference between Southern Oregon and us here at PCC? Well, Southern Oregon University is one of the 7 public universities in the state, while there's 17 community colleges in the state. 2 different systems. In the university system, there are 4 smaller regional universities, SOU being one of them. They are much more vulnerable to ups and downs of enrollment and to state funding. So here with Southern Oregon, they are very dependent on tuition and state funding. And the other difference is that Portland Community College also receives, in addition to tuition and funding, property tax revenues. Secondly, enrollment. What about enrollment in the last 4 years, you might ask? Well, SOU is down about 3.5%, while Portland Community College, we're up about 20% over those same 4 years. And then lastly, president's pay wasn't mentioned. The president of SOU recently volunteered to take a 20% pay cut in answer of the funding problems. While at PCC, President Bennings just received a 2.5% COLA from the board, and that makes her current salary on an annual basis around $344,000, plus an $18,000 annual car allowance and a $12,000 annual expense account.
So we need to ask ourselves why we keep getting such misleading and inaccurate information from management. The answer is that management is fear-mongering and trying to prevent us from having a strong strike vote so that we can build the pressure for a fair contract. It's very important that we begin to recognize that this is going to keep happening. We're going to keep getting these messages, and we need to kind of fortify ourselves against that. Your bargaining team and all of us are going to continue to fight for a fair and reasonable contract. If the college is in such dire economic straits, we need to ask ourselves why they're still continuing to refuse to bargain even zero-cost proposals. Today we brought 11 zero-cost proposals to the management bargaining team, and they have not responded to those, saying that they need to crunch some numbers. They've had these proposals for months. So if everybody could come out to the strike vote kickoff event on Monday from 4:30 to 5:30 at Sylvania ST 100, also on Zoom, you can ask your questions, and we're going to launch the strike vote there. Thanks.